Hello, um, my name is Elijah Winkfield, and my speech is on social media. Of the many issues that plague modern society, the effect social media has on its users is one. From teens to even young adults, the effects are wide ranging, with many feeling emotions like depression or sadness whenever they use an app like Facebook or Instagram. This incredibly large amount of people who use social media on a day to day basis are guaranteed to feel some type of emotion due to how the services are used by people. Social media use is like an addiction. Once you get a feeling from an experience you haven't tried before or considered, you're ready and willing to try it again to regain the enjoyment you felt with the first use. However, the more and more you use the service, the more dependent you get on it, even with achievement that even with activities that have nothing to do with it. Although social media has its highs and lows for many users, I believe that there are methods to create a purely positive social media experience. There are many findings that claim that young people are increasingly using social media to gain emotional support to prevent and address mental health issues, according to Glather and Stones. The problem here is that young individuals shouldn't be using the internet as a way to sort out their insecurities with people who don't share similar characteristics as them. A method toward circumventing these issues on the web would be to form online digital communities with others who share similar characteristics so they are able to become global citizens, thus reducing the isolation they may feel. Having people of a similar background to talk to you and share some traits that you possess has the potential to make your social media experience that of positivity instead of negativity. Joining a community is like joining with a therapist. You make the effort to find people who can help you address your problems and work toward a better way of handling the troubles in your life. Research also makes it clear that strong adolescent friendships can be enhanced by social media interactions. Another problem attached to young people attempting to address mental health issues through social media is the opportunity presented for backlash or hate by users with all intent. A good example of the potential for backlash being the hate crimes on gay, lesbian, and bisexual people for expressing themselves online. Since a lot of people don't know or have knowledge on their experiences, there is often a lack of acknowledgement of that lesbians, gay men, and bisexual men and women are 4 times more likely to experience some crime either as a result of being open about their sexual orientation or because they attend LGBT identified venues such as clubs, bars, and community groups. The lack of people who understand what they go through is most likely part of the reason for the hate crimes being as severe as they can be. Although this is an issue that persists on today, there are ways to lower the trauma one can experience from hate crime on the internet. Results from a study that showcased calculated trauma scores for gay, lesbian, and bisexual victims of hate crime demonstrate openness about one's sexual orientation, willingness to seek counseling, and family support were associated with low trauma scores for participants who had been victims of crimes, hate crime, or had feared for personal safety. This shows that expressing support for family members or people who are dealing with issues over the internet is the right way to go in terms of solving the issue of mental health for users. A way that some try to improve their social media experience is through abstinence from using the service. Although it seems like a surefire way to handle the issues, that come with social media use, the solution is more complicated than the one presented. For one, deepening your understanding of the complexity of simply stopping yourself from using social media begins with examining how the user might react based on their personal experience with it. An example would be how ready the social media user would be to abstain from using social media altogether, severing whatever online connections they might have made. Since social media is a primary means for social connection, including for the establishment of new relationships and the maintenance of existing relationships, deprivation of this avenue for gratifying this need would likely be experienced as aversive. To add to the previous point, the experience of being cut off from one's friends and the fear of missing out on important events and experiences within one's social network may further compound the intolerable nature of this experience. If the methods toward fighting the mental health and loneliness issues were to be applied in the world today, the modern world would be filled with more positivity online, as well as more mediators for those who still experience hate. An effect that would have a large impact on the world would be that the positivity that will come out of the situations would end up making someone value themselves more than they would have previously. Certain studies state that having self-worth on social media feedback was associated with using social media for status seeking. Knowing this alone is important toward establishing a world where there is more adequate help for those who experience the negative effects of social media. Learning that you have self-worth with the help of friends and family can prevent you from selling yourself short and discounting your ability as a result. In conclusion, all I ask of the audience in order to make this solution a reality is to go to the extra mile of engaging with people online who may need help. If someone is similar to you in ways or has experienced some form of harassment, it is my hope that the victim will seek the help that you can provide for them and put a stop to whatever harassment was taking place. If you yourself have a group of friends, I suggest starting your own communities for people to join and feel welcome to, so no one feels left out and their concerns can float away like the wind, so they can feel at ease when their emotions are affected.